Hairless Toys is the album that I've made with Eddie Stevens, and Eddie is somebody that I have worked with for over 20 years in live music, and I never sat down before to write an album with him, but I made a record a couple of years ago called Mi Senti, which is an Italian language record. I called Eddie, and during that sort of process I saw Eddie working in the studio and realised that it's really time to make a record now with Eddie. Track 1 on the record is Gone Fishing, and that was inspired by Paris is Burning documentary about a gay scene in New York City in the 80s. And I saw the film around the time I was writing the record, about a year and a half ago, and came in the next day and wrote a song about it immediately because it just really inspired me. It was so beautiful. There's this feeling of family in it. So in the ball scene there were families, there were like houses, and the one that I sing about is the House of Libatia, which is like a gang of kids who live in a house. They all perform, compete in the scene, and they have like a mother of the house and a father of the house, so it's in the idiom of a family. Evil Eyes is just really a kind of song about incantations, about sort of wishing for things to come real. It's really very much musically a landscape as well. It's very funky in places, got key change and all that. It's a real story musically, but the lyrical ideas in it, yes, are very much just about wishing and wishing and wishing and wishing and wishing until something comes true. Exploitation is a sexy song, as far as I'm concerned. It's a little bit of a wry, ironic kind of lyric. It's a lyric with a sort of twinkle in its eye. As far as I was concerned, in the sort of micro meaning of it, it's really about sex. The nucleus of it is about a relationship, and not really as destructive a relationship as you might think. Uninvited Guest is really a song about many days that I've had in the years that have gone by since I made my last album. Days where I would kind of get cover, childcare, and think, what'll I do with my day? And I'd end up wandering around London because everybody else was either in work doing something important, or they were at home with their children, you know, so I found myself kind of lost a little bit. You kind of can become quite cynical when you're wandering around looking out from those kind of eyes that really, when you're not busy in your head and you just look coldly at the world, don't you, I mean, in those moments, and that's kind of how I was looking at the world when I was going around looking at the fashions in the shops and the sort of lifestyles for sale and the dreams for sale that don't come true and all that sort of thing. It's fine. Exile is one that they often ask me about, the old journalists and whatnot. People are quite surprised that we've done that song. I suppose it is a kind of an old-fashioned song. It's one of the songs that we wrote in a very old-fashioned way. You know, we kind of sat down at an instrument in here, and he started to play and I started to sing, and it wasn't written really in the computer. It's about, I suppose, the lyric, I'm staring up at a blank blue sky, the perfect canvas for a sullen mind. You know, it's really times that I've had everything there for me, you know. I've been somewhere absolutely beautiful and still not being happy. House of Glass is very autobiographical. It's very much about the time I spent in Sheffield living with a couple of other girls in a house, and we did call ourselves the Glasshouse Girls. And I think we were very much transparent beings at that point. We were very open, transparent, and even the house itself had a kind of open door policy, people coming and going, parties being thrown all the time. And it was a wonderful time, and it was a time that couldn't last, and that's what it's about. Hairless Toys, the song, is about intimacy. It's an intimate song, and that's kind of what we've kept in the way that we didn't re-vocal it. So some of the vocals you can't really understand because it really was just put down in one take again. That was one of those songs, and we wanted to keep that sort of intimacy, so sometimes the words are a bit, you can't really understand what I'm saying and stuff like that. And we thought, bugger it, we'll just leave it like that, you know, because it has that intimacy, and really the meaning of it is I am whispering into the ear of someone I love that I know their pain. I know they have pain, I understand their pain, they don't have to worry about it and they don't have to hide it. Unputdownable is a love song, just a sweet love song that again was written in that sort of old-fashioned way where we allowed a stream of consciousness to happen, and it was a song that sort of wrote itself. It's one idea, one metaphor. The metaphor of the one you love is as interesting as a very, very, very good book, you know, and so it sort of just wrote itself, that song, and it's not meant to be very complicated. It's about just love. The album is coming out in May 2015. Rehearsals are going well. I've got a 5-piece band. There's 3 new guys, and they're all very handsome and very good musicians in that order.